trivial question. Let's play a game. Where were your eyes looking? Were you looking at the whiteboard? Were you reading what she was writing on the whiteboard? Or were you looking straight at her buns? Okay, so yeah, 99.9% of you were looking straight at her buns. So in this video, we're going to be talking about this viral teacher, and she calls herself Teacher Bay.
Like every 5 or so years, y'all come on here and y'all pick at least one teacher that be like, oh my God, her outfit is so inappropriate.
Look at Miss Williams. Hey, Miss Williams. It's Monday.
It's Monday.
Oh. My baddie, Teacher Bay neighbor. Miss Williams. Pose. She's so pretty.
We're not calling women petals enough. Like, these teachers who are going to school in bodycon outfits, BBLs, and in heels that you would wear to the club, to school, like, wanting to be attractive to children is a thing that pedophiles do. Like, nobody wants to be attractive to children.
That teacher that's going viral for going to school with the little clothes on, she gonna lose her job. And this is why she gonna lose her job. It's not because of her shape. It's because the way she carry herself at work. It's like she's trying to get the kids' attention on how she dresses. Like, yeah, you got a body, okay, but it's more so of the tiny pencil skirts. Like, your shit is skin tight. You could wear those flare pants, the little, y'all know the loose pants that you wear with a bun down. You want that attention from the kids. That's what that is. Then the other thing is, you call yourself Teacher Bay. What do you mean, Teacher Bay? Like, they already chewing your ass up in the comments, and then you giving them more reasons to. You're not beating the allegation. Like, there's no way you're gonna beat them allegations that you there for the kids. Like, the pose is inappropriate.
You guys have seen the discourse about Teacher Bay and her outfits and everything, but I feel like you guys have not really seen her outfits. If you haven't done a deep dive in her page, you probably don't really know what the outfits look like. So I'm going to show you guys. This is one of the most viral outfits that is going around. And as you can see, it's not like she's not covered up. She's fully technically covered up, but the problem is, like, it's super tight around this part, and that's the problem. It's just tight around the parts that should not be so noticeable. And keep in mind, she has a BBL, so of course it's going to be hard to hide all of that, but wearing a thin skin tight, bottom, it's just going to make it poke out. Then we have this one, so it's about the same length as last dress, but then she went ahead and added the sheer. Why in the world would you be wearing, basically the dress is right below her butt, basically, because the rest of this is see-through. You can't really consider this fully covered because half of it, or more than half of it, is see-through, and you're wearing heels, which is going to make it make your legs look even longer and even more exposed in front of. Look at the age of the kids in the background.
Like, these are not like little babies that don't know what's going on. They're old enough to be probably just hitting puberty or in that stage, and you know how
that goes. Then you have this outfit. I don't think I need to say anything. This outfit does not look like it's meant for a teacher. This looks like you're going out to brunch with your friends, or maybe like a really nice restaurant or something on a date. This gives like, cute date. But the heels, the skirt is right below the butt. And I remember when I started first working in corporate world, your skirt is supposed to be at fingertip length or at least below the knees. Normally you're safe if your skirt or dress or whatever was below the knees. And this is not touching that, and it's tight too. So it's above the knees and it's tight. And then we have this dress. So this is super long. It's cute. You can tell it's slightly loose, but for some reason it's just accentuating the bottom area. And I feel like, yes, you have a BBL, but there's ways to hide that. You could have put on a cardigan to cover the back area and still kept the front, cute. There was no reason to like wear a shirt that stopped right above the bottom area to make this part poke out even more. Like, and the fact that, keep in mind, in a lot of her videos, if you haven't watched them, she starts off by a side view, and she's not recording, obviously someone else recording, so it's almost like she's saying, like, the person recording is like catching her in the act of being a teacher, like, oh, hey, Miss So-and-so, how are you doing today? But she's always posed from the side, so you can catch the P of the BBL. So she's well aware of what she's doing by how she's posing before the video even starts, if that makes sense. If you were wondering what the whole discourse is about, those are the outfits. Yes, you can be covered up. Yes, she has a BBL, it's hard to cover it, but there's ways around that with just a simple cardigan and looser fitted skirts that are longer. Like, it's, you know.
I am currently outside right now, walking to the gym, getting my little steps in for the day. And everybody keeps talking about this teacher bay lady chow. Oh my goodness. But nobody, I don't see anyone talking about what I'm about to bring up. Honey, are y'all going on this girl's Instagram? So basically, Teacher Bay went viral. I feel like every now and then we always have a very beautiful, sexy teacher go viral because she's curvaceous and her body is tea and she's eating up them outfits, okay? The outfits be hugging her in all the right places. And it's always controversial because I know for me, just me personally, I am not used to seeing teachers look like that. I'm sorry. Like, teachers are supposed to be ugly. I feel like it's a reason why, at least growing up for me when I was in school, teachers were butt ugly. They were hideous. They could not dress. You didn't know what their shapes looked like. I think one person had said, teachers have always had body on them. It's just we didn't know what it looked like. Yeah, exactly. Like, and I don't know. I think it should be that way though, because kids are extremely hormonal and just kids, their bodies are changing and they're going through puberty, and it can be a freaking distraction if your teacher is fine as F. I feel like old school teachers, they always kept this aura of mystery. We didn't know what their body looked like because remember, the most significant teacher outfit was that cardigan. So even if you did have a lot of junk in the trunk, you threw that cardigan on and nobody knew. Okay? And we also didn't know what was going on in teachers' personal lives, which stay tuned, honey. This video is going to be really good because the stuff that I found on this woman is crazy. I need the ladies to stop playing the victim, okay? Stop playing the victim. Well, she can't help that her body is like that. The body that she paid for. People basically, they're calling this lady for how she looks at school. They're calling her, like a PDF file, if you know what I mean. They're saying that she might be attracted to little people at the school, if you know what I mean. Because why are you trying to look sexy at a middle school? Why are you wearing club heels? Like, the heels is really what did it for me. Now, you know dang well those heels is not for school. Okay, you know dang well.
Oh, look at Miss Williams. Hey, Miss Williams. It's Monday. What? Wait, what?
Who are you doing this for? That's what people are asking. Who is she looking like this for? And what's crazy is, I have an hourglass body shape. I'm no stranger to, having a bigger chest and things looking sexier on me because my chest is big and stuff like that. But no, ma'am. Every woman knows how to truly cover herself up. Your chest ain't that big. Your BBL is not that prominent. You can still cover yourself up. I still know how to dress in a way where my body will be completely undetectable because I've had healthcare jobs. Even though I have a little figure on me too, I know exactly what scrubs to wear in order to cover all of that up. Nobody will be able to detect that I even wear a double D bra size. So, a lot of people are saying that she's trying to compete with the girls at that school. And I will say this lady is very active on social media. And like I said, we're going to review her social media in a sec because it's very alarming. And people are commenting like you're trying to compete with the girls in the middle school. And she's responding to the comments. I'm paraphrasing it. She's responding to the comments and saying like, oh, they can't compete with her. They're not messing with her. She's saying stuff like that.
But I just find that like a weird way to comment back about competition. Like, why even comment? Why even respond to that, you know? Another thing to note about the teacher based situation is that a lot of people are saying that she's doing this for the eyes of some of maybe the children that's in the school, because she's probably dealing with Arrested Development, or there's some teacher there that she's trying to impress. As far as like competition with the younger girls that are in the school, competing for the eyes of the other younger male students, that might be true. So if you look at this comment, someone said competing with high school students. She goes, nah, they wear uniform, too easy. Out of all the comments that were there, that's what she chose to respond to, which means it struck some kind of nerve and it probably has some kind of truth. And the fact that she's saying that they wear uniforms and it's not even competition means she is in competition with them, and she knows that she's going to win the competition because they wear uniforms and you can't compete with someone who's wearing a uniform.
What? Ew. Can we all just say ew? So she is in competition with those girls. That's crazy.
So if you look at this comment, someone said competing with high school students. She goes, nah, they wear uniform, too easy.
That's crazy. But it gets worse. Ways, the internet is also saying that this lady who calls herself Teacher Bay, yes, she calls herself Teacher Bay. She's romanticizing teaching. This is very creepy because you work for kids. Anyways, the internet was also saying she feeds off of attention from, how little boys act over fine older women. She gets off on that. She likes that. I don't know. I think so too. Like, you're wearing those outfits with intention. You're intentionally wearing slits, club heels, trying to accentuate your BBL and all this stuff. Girl, I'm looking at you and I feel attraction towards you. Can you imagine what little kids, little immature kids, are thinking when they look at this woman? Especially when they go to her Instagram. Lord have mercy. Honey, I went all on this girl's Instagram. I was freaking appalled. Are y'all ready for what I'm about to show you? When you go on the Teacher Bay's Instagram, she's bending over, twerking on vacation in a thong. All you see is cat. You can see her cat print. Every other highlight reel is her bending over, cheeks out, twerking in a thong. I was like, what is happening right now? Teachers are not supposed to be. I don't care. I don't care. People can be like, oh, well, she's off. I don't care if she's on her day off. Honey, we are not supposed to access this. If I can access this, what are hormonal little boys going through puberty at your school accessing? Okay, because they should be way more advanced with the internet than me. And I don't even want to think about what those boys at her school is doing to her Instagram. Because kids are messy. Kids are messy as F. They have found her Instagram and they're looking at that. Cheeks everywhere. It's disturbing. Like, my thing is, I get that teachers can have a life outside of teaching, but can you like private your Instagram or something? And it's like so cringe because she's posting herself at school, but in the next story, she'll be twerking, bending over, twerking, cat out, cheeks out. It's insane. Cussing, listening to Sexy Red, middle finger up, bending over, doing the splits. So, again, maybe I am just old school and out of touch with current times, but teachers, I will give teachers that. They are very feminine women. They have mastered the art of mystery. Like, even if you are living this crazy double life, we should not be able to just access this. You know what I mean? Like, a teacher doing this is just crazy. Is this not crazy? Like, is this not, like, huh? Acting like she's riding a dude with the way she's dancing? Like, what? And what possessed me to check her Instagram was because I just could see the hood rat in her. I when I looked at, she's a beautiful girl, but you can always see the hood rat in people, no matter how modest they try to be. I feel like her version of modesty, it does look like she's trying to be modest as a teacher, but sometimes I feel like some people have modesty blindness, right? Using my spidey senses, I kind of figured that she was that type. A lot of women, it's like we can still see the 304 in you under you attempting to be modest, and that's what her modesty gives. Just being honest. They don't know what's actually modest. Wearing a tight skirt that shows off your BBL is not modest. Then again, when you're always half naked 24/7, you have like modesty blindness. You don't know what's modest. So that's what possessed me to check her Instagram, because I'm like, I want to see how she shows up outside of school. And honey, my intuition is always right. It was way worse than what I expected. Okay. Half naked, chest out everywhere. Everything is just out in for display. This has got to be a form of some type of mental illness. How are you in your right conscious, right? You're in your right mind posting yourself, but straight up naked on IG. Your IG looks like an OnlyFans profile. And then in the next post, you're posting yourself at school. Huh? Like why do you have your personal life and your professional life mixed in one page? And I even went to her tagged photos. Apparently, she has her whole entire chest out on display because the person that did her implants tagged her and took a picture of her chest before and after. So I'm like, is anybody else noticing this? Like, everyone keeps talking about how sexy she looks at school. But are we talking about how she has every body part literally? And don't get me wrong, like, I am not some super modest woman either, but you're not gonna find my bare chest out on the internet and my cat bend over with cheeks everywhere. You know what I mean? So y'all were seeing my live reaction, but after I got done recording, I can finally articulate my thoughts as to why I felt the need to pull up her Instagram, because I just felt disturbed. So now I have the words to describe why it's disturbing to me. Okay? Um Someone had said it perfectly. It just seems like she's sexualizing teaching. Okay? You're sexualizing teaching, you're fetishizing teaching. With her Instagram, it's very weird. Her Instagram kind of gives those, like, those weird corn websites, or, those corn videos where they do the teacher role play. It seems like she's trying to tap into that, like teacher role play. And I'm going to explain why. Because her Instagram makes no sense. Like, I just don't understand how in one post you have your BBL jiggling all over the place. I literally can see her cat imprint. Like I said, she's wearing a G-string. Okay, it's insane. And then in the next post, you're standing by a school bus in a super tight dress, and everyone's focusing on her tight dress at school. But can we talk about how her Instagram account is basically a fantasy land for weird, creepy men who are into, like school dynamics, if you know what I mean? And there's women that be playing into that fantasy, and I think that's what she's doing. Someone said that it's weird how she's trying to be an, like, what, this sexy office siren at a middle school. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's weird. That's really weird. Her Instagram, she seems to be living a lavish lifestyle. Teachers do not make that much. And knowing her, I don't even think she would even need to be teaching, because she seems like she can live a life based off of pretty privilege. So I was wondering, like, wait, why are you doing this? Like, why are you at school? Huh? You don't seem like you need to teach. It looks like she has a bunch of tricks tricking off on her. And then I put it all together. I think that she designs her Instagram. I feel like there's probably men tricking off on her, and they really enjoy that whole sexy teacher type thing. That's what I think, because it just does not make sense. Like, how can you post yourself standing in front of a middle school, a literal school bus where little children get on, And then in the next post, your BBL is jiggling all over the place. And she's constantly doing these weird poses as if she's like imitating bedroom positions, bending all the way over, face down, bottom up in the sky. Like, huh? And she's literally like twerking in motions as if she's riding an eggplant. Do you get my drift? Do you get what I'm saying? Her Instagram gives OnlyFans content. It gives role play. It gives teacher role play. It seems like she's trying to appease PDF owls. Okay? Because that just makes no sense to me. She's sexualizing teaching. That's what she's doing. She's 110% doing that. If you go watch a corn video where there's like a teacher doing the role play thing, she looks extremely similar to how they look in corn videos. That's why it's alarming to me. And I'm just being realistic here. Do you think that those students, okay, I remember when I was in school and I had friends that had hot moms. When I was like in high school, I had a friend. She was pretty and she had the hottest mom in the school. But her mom was very voluptuous, tiny waist. I think she had her body. Yeah, her body was definitely surgically enhanced. And her behind was fat. And she would wear all these sexy crop tops and leggings. And yes, the boys would go insane every time she showed up at that school. That women who get plastic surgery are very insecure and they love validation to an extreme. So, her mom looking back, I noticed that she kind of did enjoy the fact that she was the hot MILF mom at school and all the boys would be fawning. She enjoyed that attention. Um, these girls with these BBLs, and when they walk past and little boys be freaking fawning over them, they like that. They do. I think they do because they're insecure. So when you're insecure, you love any type of, you're so desperate for any type of validation. I think that that's what's going on in this teacher's case as well. And I remember the guys' reactions. The boys would go insane. They would lose their freaking mind every time like a sexy grown woman walked around in school or whatever. Do you actually think in the age where technology is at our fingertips that those little kids at that school is not accessing her Instagram? You're delusional if you think that messy middle school kids are not showing each other the fact that she's viral right now and they haven't found her freaking Instagram where her cat is just all over the place with fantasy teacher role playing content on there. Okay? That's why I'm bringing up her Instagram. Everyone's focusing on, like I said, on how she is dressing at school, which, yeah, that's a problem too. Like, why are you wearing tight clothes, tight, sexy clothes to insinuate your BBL and stuff like that? But if it was just for that, I probably wouldn't have done this video, whatever, because I'm not really the modesty police, even though when it's like in weird situations like this, that's when I'm going to talk about it. But I was going to say, it was her Instagram that was the final straw. Like, what is happening? Why is it like one post provocative, the other post you're standing in front of a school bus, provocative, school bus, provocative, school bus? Like, what? So then I finally put it together like, oh, yeah, she's creating fantasy content for weird men online. That's what she's doing. She's using her teacher job to do that because I was looking at this girl and I was analyzing her. I was like, why are you a teacher? I know a thing or two about very beautiful women. They don't have to work average regular jobs. I'm sorry, but that's mostly majority for just normal people. Okay? She is not average by any means. She is extremely beautiful. And so I was like, what are you doing teaching? They don't even pay that much. And then when you go on her Instagram, she's balling out of control. She's always on vacation. She's always wearing designer bags and stuff like that. Child, I don't even mean a pocket watch. But I was thinking, like, your lifestyle does not add up to your occupation at all. Teachers are not balling. So where is this extra money coming from? Your tricks that enjoy and get off on, the teacher role playing that you're doing? Huh? So I'm just like, why are you a teacher? They don't make much. And I think that she really gets paid from sexualizing her teacher job, because I'm going to actually play a clip from this lady that kind of said the same thing. Like, you don't get a BBL and all of these body enhancements to sit around and become a freaking teacher. No. Even if you talk to pole dancers, a lot of them, they get the extra enhancement because it gives them more money. They get more money. Are you picking up what I'm throwing down? So she got her chest done, her breast done, and God knows what else. A lot of women get that to get more privileges in life, more money in life. Like, you got to really be on game to know what I'm saying right now, or else you're just not going to get it. So that's why I think, like, it's something else that's going on. I'm telling you, she's purposely sexualizing teaching, and I think that that's where she actually gets her bag from. You don't get, like, that's weird. Why did you get a BBL and all this stuff just to become a teacher? No, pole dancers would get body enhancements to further entice men and to get them to spend, their money. That's why a lot of girls get the big, like, body parts and stuff like that. If you did not know, now you know. Most women, they get the BBLs and the breast job done and stuff like that because it further gives them more financial privileges in society. Okay? Yes, that is a whole entire thing. It's a whole entire concept. You don't get a BBL and your chest done just to work an average job at Walmart. No. You get it done for male attention and male privileges that come with that. So, yes, I am going to be looking at BBL teachers extremely sideways. Why are you there? Why are you there? I'm a woman, woman to woman. Be so for real. So that's why people think this lady is weird, okay? So one person also brought up a great point also in the same context, like, why are you you got a BBL and did all this just to entice middle school kids? It's kind of weird.
When it comes to the teacher bay discourse, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I thought y'all was just hating on that girl. I thought that y'all saw a cute girl with a nice body shape that she was naturally given, and I was thinking, like, she can't help the way she's shaped. She should have the right to dress cute for work too. But that was before I realized that it's a BBL. Now, this just changes everything for me. And no shade to BBLs, but I just feel like this is the reality of seeing them out in the wild. If you see a BBL at the club or on the beach in Miami, or a hairstylist has one or a nail tech has one, then it's like, okay, cool, she got a BBL. But to be a teacher, and it's not even to say like a teacher can't have a BBL, because there's plenty of teachers that are naturally shaped, like a BBL pretty much. But I just feel like the fact that you would get this BBL, you work a job where you spend majority of your time out of your day with children, and then you're dressing in a way to accentuate the curves that you got from the doctor. That's where it's like, okay, this is kind of crazy. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, when you got a BBL, it's like certain professions you could have. Like, you could be like a dancer, or like you could be a hairstylist. You elementary school teacher with a BBL, like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. Like, why are you an accountant with a BBL?
It's very suspicious. This lady is weird. Like, no matter what theories we have, we can all just agree that she's weird. Okay? A lot of women were upset because they were like, well, it's her body, she can't help it. No, people were picking up that she's weird, and I'm showing you more evidence that this woman is weird as F. Okay? I think that she's purposely sexualizing her teacher job online for money. That's what I think that she's doing. It makes sense. 304s, the things that they do for money, honey, understand this is not a reach. This is not a reach. I think a few years ago we had discovered what they were doing in Dubai.
She will always go to Dubai. She was like, I get on and pissed on for like 20, 30K by different men.
They will literally do anything. They will go through any lengths for money, if you know what I mean. And that's how my mind was able to come up with that. Because I'm sorry, I know a 304 when I see one. I know a former 304. I just, the aesthetic, ma'am. That's why I'm saying she has modesty blindness. It looks like she's trying to be somewhat modest, but this is not modest at all. Like, it's just embarrassing. It's cringe. She looks like a former 304 that's trying to be modest. So, that's my theory or whatever on this teacher. Y'all can let me know down below. I understand if you think it was a reach. I don't care. That's just what I thought. Anyways, let's get back to the BBL teachers. The first thing that everyone was flipping out about, which is the way that she's dressed, and just my thoughts around the way that she's dressed again, because I still have more to say about that. Like, me and my friend were talking about how the way we would show up on a beach, like, or a pool party for adults versus a water park for children is in two different ways, okay? Water park for children, I'm not going to be wearing a G-string up my crack. You know what I mean? Like, if you can't understand that concept, then you're just a trifling woman. That's all I see. If you're defending her wearing this, she knows what she's doing. So these types of outfits around children, okay? Because me personally, when I get by the time I get around family members, they don't know my shape. Okay, I cover myself up. That's just me though. If you don't understand how to cover yourself up, you're just a 304. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're a 304 and you're a certified side chick and you're ghetto. End of discussion. Every woman should know how to be modest. We don't like save the whole, oh, my body is curvaceous thing. Just save it. She screams ghetto. It screams can't nobody take you nowhere. This is the things that I be talking about with some women. They're just embarrassing, okay? It should always be time and place. Like, I know when to look sexy, when to turn that straight off, and nobody will ever know what I got working with under my clothes, okay? I know, like, it's time and place. You don't look like that at school, period. And, the same thing in your dating life. You can't even have decency to not look like a sexy video vixen when you're at work. And you wonder why. Y'all be wondering why guys don't want to commit? That's why. Because if he considers bringing you around his mom, you're going to show up looking like an escort worker. Okay? If you're a woman that's making excuses for this, talking about she can't help it, that is complete BS. Every woman with any type of figure on her knows when and where it's time to cover that up. And if you don't understand that, you're probably a certified side chick, okay? You're probably not main chick material, because that is an art that every woman has to learn. Nobody's behind and chest is that big and voluptuous to where it just cannot be covered. This teacher was turned around showing videos of her behind jiggling as she's writing on the board in jeans. Like, bro, if I be looking at y'all's BBLs, I know these childish little boys who are going through puberty are sitting. I can't even imagine what they do when they go home. I'm just being honest. Probably not even when they go home, when they go to the freaking bathroom. If I can't help but to stare at BBLs, like, come on, be so for real. Like, let's be so freaking for real right now. Okay? Any girl defending this, you're probably a skip me that does not understand time and place. Very much ghetto, very much classless, and that's all that I have to freaking say. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I really don't care if you guys disagree with me. You can go ahead and comment that if you agree. I don't care. Those are my thoughts. I just had to come on here and say the quiet part out loud. Why is nobody talking about the fact that this teacher has her cat all over Instagram? So, all right, y'all. I'll catch you guys soon. Bye.
So I was
Stop playing with these people before you get fired. I know y'all see that. I'm not tripping. I know y'all see that. Girl. Now I'm just praying to God you're not an English language arts teacher, because why you got capital letters in the middle of your sentence? Master the concept of self-reflecting. Why did you write that like the title of a movie or the title of a book? This is supposed to be a lowercase m, a lowercase c, a lowercase r. You putting too much time into that wardrobe. You spending too much time on Shein and Fashion Nova. You can't even do your job properly. Child, you better get off this internet before you not have a job.
So I got a question for the girl that's known as Teacher Bay. What district do you work in to be having Chanel bags at work? I just want to know what's your salary looking like, sis? Because a teacher's salary, we can't be buying no Chanel purses. I just want to know. And also, Teacher Bay, your feet don't be hurting when you walking on that hard ass linoleum tile floor. Because, bitch, when I put these Crocs on in sports mode, let me do one wrong twist of the ankle, bitch, I'm on workers' comp. What are you doing? All jokes aside, teacher, whatever her name is, she is gorgeous. She's bad. Hell, I would do a double take. But she needs to be professional and let those students know, do not refer to me as Teacher Bay. Please put some boundaries within your classroom. Don't let these kids think they could even come at you in that type of manner. Because, ma'am, that is very disgusting. And her body is tea. Her face card is tea. All that looks amazing. But what really did it for me was when sis was taking a picture outside by the damn buses and she ain't got bus duty. Girl, what? Now, apparently her principal is okay with her coming to work like that. All right? Apparently that's the type of environment she work in. But I would not feel comfortable being dressed like that, and I work with a bunch of students. That's just me. I don't even wear button-up shirts at work because I am very top-heavy, and sometimes a button-up shirt will tell on itself and pop open. I am not going to dress in a manner that is going to bring more attention to myself. I want you to pay attention to these books. You really need to be thinking about the lesson. Don't be looking at me in that way. That's fucking gross to me. It makes my skin crawl. And Teacher Bay, who is your cameraman that's getting these ass shots of you walking in the school parking lot by the buses? I just want to know, because, ma'am, if it is another student that's doing that, yeah, somebody, you may need to, you need to see that. You need to come line it up by them buses that you keep taking pictures of, because that's not cool. You can be a baddie and teach. A professional looking baddie. Not wearing things that are bodycon dresses and all that shit. I mean, like I said, I don't know what type of district you work in, my love. I don't. But type of kids I work with, there is a lot of bending. There is a lot of moving. There is a lot of walking around. How you walking around at work with 6-inch heels, open toe, strapless shoes? I don't know. And what do you teach? What subject do you teach? Sis, are you sitting down all day? I really want to know, because you can't be no PE teacher. You can't be. To want the attention of students is crazy work. I want students to pay attention to the material. You should not want students to think of you in a promiscuous way. Why does that not make you feel gross? Like, ew. Like, that's nasty. You're old enough to be some of them children's mothers. I know you are. Like, come on now. Don't do that. I'm not going to call you out your name or nothing like that. But sis, we need to have a serious conversation. What attention are you seeking at work that is causing you to put on that tight ass skirt? You look delicious. You look fine as hell. I would definitely be in your class front and center, because girl, you look incredible. But you need to save them type of clothes for when you're not at work. Simple as that.
going to comment on this. I was going to mind my business, but I decided to not mind my business and to comment on this. If you see no issue with Teacher Bay, then I'm giving you a huge side eye. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. She know exactly what she's doing. And she wants her male students' attention. You can't tell me that that's not it. You can't tell me she wants the attention of the male teachers or the male staff there. Sweetheart, you are a predator. She's a predator. And this little fucking trend with the teacher-based shit is fucking disturbing. And the fact that we're even having this fucking conversation lets me know exactly where we are as a fucking society.
I feel like teachers are the new cops. And what I mean by that is, you know how like there's a running joke about like cops who are like super aggressive and angry, and we say that they were like college rejects. They were the kid that nobody wanted to hang out with in high school. They couldn't get into the military, so they became a cop. You know how it's like a joke, you know? I feel like teachers are that now. Because why are you referring to yourself as Teacher Bae? Why are you coining that? Why do you want to be referred to as Teacher Bae? There's a teacher going viral right now, one of many, for being like a baddie because she came to, you know, work in this, you know, very tight bodycon pencil skirt, and she's just taking it and running with it. And I feel like these women, because she's not the only one, there's a lot of teachers like this who teach high school, which is very alarming, who, you know, they peaked in high school, probably was dating the star football player, basketball player, thought they was about to be, you know, somebody's, you know, NFL, NBA wifey, and it didn't play out that way. And now they're looking for validation from the little kids at school because they want to feel like they're in their, you know, their prime era again. I would not want to be referred to as Teacher Bae or a bae of any children, teenagers. Like, I don't want validation from kids. I don't give a damn what they think of me. I don't give a damn if they think I'm fine. I don't give a damn if they think I have a nice body or if I look good for my age. That's weird. And I'm also tired of people saying, oh, well, if you have a shape, you're going to see it in whatever you wear. Let's be real. Let's be real. A bodycon dress, a bodycon pencil skirt, girl, go to freaking Ann Taylor, go to Calvin Klein, and if you just want to wear a skirt, get one that's made out of like the material that they make pantsuits out of, like that thick, you know, quality. You're shopping on Fashion Nova. Like, stop acting like y'all don't
So
get
we gotta be realistic about the whole teacher-based situation. Yes, I understand being a woman of color and being more curvy, that everything may fit you a lot different than other people, but still, it's about professionalism and what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. Me being a teacher myself, I know. Like, there are certain things that I wear that might not be appropriate for work versus certain things that someone else can wear and it fits them different. I stand almost at 6 foot. So some dresses on me look like tunics. So that means it doesn't get worn at school. I work at a school that's from K to 8th. And those teenagers, they are looking. They are very aware. I even seen some posts that said, oh, they don't know unless you put attention to it. BS. As a mother of a teenager, she will tell you, because she has a young mother who is deemed attractive, some of her friends have said inappropriate things about me. So what makes you think that they're not saying that about the teachers? Especially when it came to a skirt. It was not a pencil skirt. It was a bodycon skirt that's designed to hug your body. Even if her intentions aren't to try to seduce kids, which is sick. The whole thing is there is a thing called professionalism that we all need to think about because these kids are watching. And it's gross because you do have a certain little genre of women who they peaked in high school and they get and they love that praise that they get from young boys and even young girls who adore them. Even when it comes down to the guy who had the kids playing in his hair. Like, we have to remember, we are educators. We have to be professional and we have to set a good example. And it wasn't a good example. I'm sorry, it wasn't. And there's a lot of people who are trying to say, oh, we're body shaming or we're doing this and that. No, we work with children, people. Remember that.
Now, we tore that male teacher who had his female students braiding his hair in class the fuck up. All right, tore him up. But now that we're saying that maybe you shouldn't wear a bodycon dress to your teaching job, Oh, now we need to let the teachers be. Oh, now we can't have opinions on the teachers no more. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the teachers. I was just up here cussing y'all out about them school supplies. I couldn't believe that y'all didn't want to buy them teacher school supplies. But unfortunately, there is bad in every group. Having your underage female students braid your hair as a male teacher? Weird. Wearing bodycon dresses and posing in front of the buses like they're club backdrops and calling yourself Teacher Bae? Weird. Like, I do think it's okay just to admit at times that some things are weird. Like, and this happens with men and women. Like, anytime a singular man or a singular woman is being criticized, it's like women and men take it as a hit on all women or a hit on all men. No, we are criticizing this one situation because it's inappropriate. And if you do not participate in this same behavior, then no one's talking about you. And honestly,
We have these conversations about the influx of young girls that we're seeing in high school who come up here and make videos talking about, oh, I don't understand why I got dress coded at school. And then they back up and show the camera the outfit, and they're wearing a skirt that even when they're standing up straight, the bottom of their cheeks are hanging out. Or they're wearing a top that only fits like a bra, like it just covers their boobs and nothing else. And like, honestly, aside from the fact that teen spaces and preteen spaces damn near no longer exist, and kids really don't have any place to go that is not like thoroughly infiltrated by adults. But I feel as though we're seeing this influx of young girls specifically who feel the need to try to present themselves as more mature in like middle school and high school because they are in a roundabout way feeling as though they are in competition with their teachers. They're feeling as though they have to compete with their teachers for the attention of the young male students. And I feel like we have all had a situation like this in school at one point or another, because this situation has reminded me of a language arts teacher that I used to have. And I always thought that she was kind of inappropriate with the boys in school. She was just very giggly, very flirty. She always let them sit up by her desk, but not in a like you're in trouble sort of way, like a you can come sit up here with me and do your work sort of way. And I remember there was this one boy who I always thought that she had like a special interest in, like even back then when I was in school. And he would always sit up at her desk and she would always give him hugs. And he would always like go in her classroom even when he was supposed to be in another classroom for a different period. And years later, I found him on Facebook. And he had posted about how he had a teacher in middle school who always let him sit up at her desk. And whenever he would sit up at her desk, she would let him go through her phone and play games on her phone and stuff like that. And she would sit there and watch him go through like her photo albums. And she would have nude photos in her photo albums. And she would see them in her phone. And she wouldn't say anything about it. And he went on to say that there were times where she would give him a hug and he would put his hand like on her butt and she wouldn't say anything. She wouldn't move it or anything. Like, I say that to say that we have to come to a realization that women are capable of being predators. And you can be a liberated woman who is free to live her life as she pleases and to be who she wants to be, while also simultaneously recognizing that there is a time and a place for certain things. And Monday through Friday, while you're teaching that middle school or high school class, is not the time nor place for a bodycon dress. And I think about it now, that dude went on to like start doing like adult content and he's like hypersexual. I mean, it was disturbing. I ended up having to unfriend him on Facebook, the stuff he would post. And I genuinely wonder if that situation contributed to his hypersexuality. It's actually really sad if you think about it.
See that damn teacher, babe? I don't know who the fuck you think you fooling, but bitch, at my big ass age, I would be hugging on your fucking ass every day. I'll be the teacher's pet and the class clown because you have to talk to me every day. Because when I was in school, I ain't have teachers built like this. And if they was built like this, I ain't know about it. But your milkshake bringing all the boys to the yard. Ain't this grown ass girl? I'm just saying, like, I don't know why you thought what you was wearing was appropriate. But it's not. Because I like what I see. You look good, bitch. But that ain't the place for that. That right there ain't the place for that. All kids gonna be in attendance. How much you want to bet? We need to run the statistics on her class. Everybody gonna be in class. Watch. You gonna have the YNs who ain't even supposed to be in the class trying to get in the class. You ever had that one badass child that always wanted to come in your class and it wasn't even his time to be in the class? Yeah, she gonna have that problem. If she ain't already got it. All I'm saying is, we need a little bit more modesty. Because, girl, you got it. And I understand you are blessed. You are definitely blessed. And I thank God for that. I like that for you. But the schoolhouse ain't the place for that. You know what I'm saying? And then you calling yourself teacher, babe? So you want them to call you babe? Because that ain't cool, you know. It's going to leave a lot of people to speculate a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? We all know what those things are. People are going to speculate. You know what I'm saying? And then would they be wrong? But I hope that you are teaching a damn good lesson. I don't know what grade you teaching, what you teaching exactly. But I hope they do well. I hope they do well. And I wish I had teachers like that when I was in school. Probably wouldn't have dropped out.